Welcome to Inside Haiku Apps.
Welcome back to the channel. Okay, we've had a look at a few demos, but let's talk about something serious, right? And that is terminal. Now, if you're used to Linux, you know that a terminal is basically a recreation within a window of the console. In the console, you can get a full screen console up by pressing, usually it's Control F1, Control F2. You can have quite a few of those. Haiku doesn't quite have that. Everything runs within the normal desktop. But what it does have is, where is it now? Terminal, settings, window size, full screen. You can do this. Problem with this is that there is no way to get it back that I know of. There might be a hotkey, but I don't know what it is. So, not a problem if you've done this accidentally. There we go. Or you can just move to another workspace, I suppose. Okay, let's call this up again. The terminal runs a shell called bash, the born again shell. If you've got any Linux experience, then you will know bash. It's a way of stringing commands together and feeding data from one command into another. Bash used to be on Mac OS as well. They've recently changed it to ZSH, which is, from our point of view, not all that different. Alright, so I can say ls, which is short for list, and it'll tell me, okay, what files. By default, it is in your, well, I wouldn't quite call it a root, but it's below your desktop. So, CD, desk, and just hit tab and it'll complete it. And call ls again, and there's only one thing, which is home. Okay, let's go there. Yeah, and so you can see okay, so I don't think I'm going to give you a full tutorial on bash. There are hundreds of them on the net, and if you have got a problem with a specific command, just Google it. There will be a tutorial. But generally, if I say ls, then you get help, or you can say man, which stands for manual, and then you get more information. But let's talk about the terminal itself. The Haiku terminal, you can say, give me a new terminal, or you can say, give me a new tab, and then your tab bar shows up and you can switch between them, which is a great space saver. Alright, page setup and print, that's pretty standard. You can close the whole window, or you can close the active tab. Let's just go to the other one, and let's close the active tab. There you go. Right. Copy, paste, select all, clear all, find. So let's see, find. Let's find. There you see, you can actually find in what's on the screen, which is pretty nifty. Now, settings. Window title. You can say this is test. And you see, there it appears. And if you click in there, you just hold your cursor in there rather, you can see the different placeholders. So test, let's say %D, and it changes it to test boot home, which is different from desktop home that you see here. And we are going to have a look at a later video at the kind of dual file system that we have in Haiku. It's not always straightforward. What have we got here? Window size. If you come all the way from the MS-DOS era, these sizes are going to look very familiar. 80 by 25 is the default, but you can make it wider. You can make it taller, whatever fits on your screen. However, you can also just make it any random size that you want just by resizing the window. Alright, text encoding, leave that alone. Yeah, if you are working with ancient text documents that are in one of these encodings, then you may need to do this, but really Unicode UTF-8, that is the standard now. It's used Linux, macOS, Windows, you name it. And 99% of your documents will be just fine. See, unless you're writing in Chinese, I suppose. Yeah, so unless you have a real need for this, leave this encoding alone. Font size, I can make things a little bit bigger. Right, and I can save all this as the default, which I'm not going to do right now. However, there is more. Right, so all these same settings can also be set. Let's just return everything to default. Right, so as you can see, the standard terminal color scheme is black on white. Now, I know a lot of people like it the other way around. Dark mode, it's the big thing these days. Right. Now you can either do this the hard way and set all these different colors manually, or you can just say color scheme. And there's midnight, or there's professional, which is almost the same. Okay, and we're going to close this. And now if I call up a new terminal, terminal, there we go. So That is now my new terminal. It's in dark mode. Oh, let's try something else. Color. Let's see. Sorry, color scheme rather. Retro. Ooh. Relaxed. Blue. Yeah, I'd probably change the text color too. Okay, but let's save this to a file. I'm going to put it on the desktop, and I'm going to say blue terminal. Save. Okay, let's close this. No, let's not close this. Let's put everything back to defaults. And so I can now close this, and where were we? Recent application terminal. There we go. Now let me double click this one. That's just a text file, by the way. And I now have a blue one. That's cool. What I want to do is put this in my menu. So it's always available. So we go to Home, Config, Non-Packaged, and Data. All right, let's open that up. So we create a new folder called Deskbar. Go into that, and a new folder. Menu, all lowercase so far, and another new folder called Applications. So anything I put in here now will appear in my menu. I'm going to put this in here. Remember that name? Blue Terminal. And now it should be here. Where is it? There it is. So you can actually customize your Deskbar menu. There we go. It comes up. Right. You can put anything in here. You can put a document in here and it'll come up in its default application. I usually use this in Home, but you know, you could, if you really insist, put this in non-packaged data, and then you make Deskbar menu applications or demos or whatever in here rather. Right, so this whole thing, it'll be a bit safer there. You know, it'll less likely to be blown away by something you do, because you can put things here, but when you delete them, you have to click an extra little confirmation. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to delete this now. And is it still here? And you see my blue terminal is gone now. And so that is the terminal. And some people are afraid of command line interfaces. I mean, why do we still have this? It's so 70s. But there are Haiku commands that are unique to Haiku that Linux has never heard of, and we will be going through them because they are Haiku applications after all. Okay, this has been a bit of a long video, but it sets the scene for a lot of stuff that I want to do later, because Haiku is not just GUI programs, it's also actually quite good at working with command line. And well, I'm old school. I'm used to working, without touching the mouse. Okay, that's it for terminal. See you next time.